Well, the biggest thing we see is all the companies we're talking to want to really focus on how to bring on merchants, especially small merchants, more quickly with less friction in a seamless and effective way. We see them do that with the merchant aggregation world, but we also see them do that in the traditional merchant acquiring world. Aggregation is relevant because Square made it relevant. With 15 billion in processing, they've set the stage and set the bar. The question for a merchant acquirer as to whether they should be in aggregation is, what does it do specifically for them, for their customer base, for their world? And they've got to look at that and they've got to decide, do we want to use this tool, or do we want to use our own tools to get the frictionless approach, or to get the things we want to get to compete with Square and others? Well, what we've seen is Square's moved up market quite a bit. They have the Square Stand, which is their version of turning an iPad into a point of sale. Their app is called Square Register. So I don't want to oversell Square. They certainly have their place, but they have done quite a bit to move from the micro merchants into a bona fide small business solution that many real retail stores are starting to use. The companies that we see that are best suited for payment aggregation are the ones that have a strong technology component and want to include the service offering of payments in their overall offering. So we see companies like point of sale companies, we see social media companies, we see all sorts of different value-added companies that want to bring payments in and deliver a seamless end-to-end solution for the customer. Payments aggregation is a great way to do that because it removes some of the traditional shackles of the merchant account system. We've got numerous customers that are traditional acquirers that recognize that a segment of their business is better served from merchant aggregation. We also have customers who choose not to do merchant aggregation and just do a frictionless approach to how they bring on new customers. And all of those are things that we find as we dig down into the needs of the customer and their sales channels and their merchant base. All merchant acceptance is risky. We know that there are real risks when you accept a new merchant into your portfolio. Whether that's a merchant or a sub-merchant, whether you're using merchant aggregation or using the traditional ISO and acquiring model, what makes it risky or not is really the underlying merchants. The one additional area of risk for someone upstream is that a merchant aggregator often has access to the funds, so that has to be accounted for. But we look at that as a different risk, not an additional risk per se.